Okay, so today's video is going to be super basic, super quick. It's going to be really geared towards beginners or people with very little understanding of stocks or the stock market. So to get things started, we're going to answer the question, what is the stock market? So you see here, I have my Investopedia tab pulled up. Definitely a great resource that I encourage you all to check out. We have their definition of what the stock market is. All right? So the way I'm going to kind of sum this up for you guys is the stock market is just a marketplace consisting of buyers and sellers who represent ownership of a business or other security. So some of the things that are traded on the stock market would be exchange traded funds, commonly known as ETFs, bonds, forex, commodities, and even some cryptocurrencies now. So what are stocks? Stocks, the stock of a corporation actually is just the shares into which the ownership of the corporation is divided. So stocks are, I guess, symbolic of ownership of whatever corporation that stock represents. So we have some of the leading stock exchanges in the market, which would be the New York Stock Exchange is one of them, the NYSE for short. We have their website pulled up right here. Just click on that. All right. And we have the NASDAQ right here. So many times you'll find earnings reports, earnings calls, a lot of very helpful calendars. You'll have live news and just, I guess, past news for the week, are really dating back to God knows when. So definitely great resources to check out. I'll definitely keep you up to date with the current events that are happening and a lot of things that affect the market and that are happening directly to the market. Right? We also have these major indexes like the Dow Jones and the S&P 500, which you've probably heard of. So many times these major indexes are representative of the overall market trends in the stock market. Okay, so they represent what the market is doing as a whole. The Dow Jones Industrial Average represents the value of 30 large publicly owned US-based companies and how they've been trading, whereas the S&P 500 does the exact same thing, except it's for 500 companies, hence the name, right? So let's take a look right here. This is my Thinkorswim platform. All right, right here we have ticker symbol -ES, which is just the S&P 500. So these candles help us, or they draw a representation of the price movement, or the average price movement of these 500 large companies that make up the S&P 500 index. We click here, we have ticker symbol DJX, Dow Jones Industrial Average Index. This shows us the same thing, just for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So this price movement, these candles, they represent the price movement of these 30 companies within the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And so now I'd like to show you the similarity between the Dow Jones and the S&P 500. So we go to our flexible grid, we have on top the S&P 500, on the bottom we have the Dow Jones. You can see there's a lot of similarity. We have the same highs at around, not the same numbers necessarily, but the highs at around very similar times. We have lows at around very similar times. See? We have the same dips right here, same dips right here, same pattern right here. We have a double top, which we'll get into in a later video on patterns. So there's a lot of similarity between the two of them. They're almost identical, right? So moving on, you may be asking what the point of the stock market is. So we'll just give you a very basic, I guess, example. A lot of times, people put their retirement funds into the stock market. Now, this is largely because it helps build their retirement funds, but it also helps combat the depreciation of the dollar. Some people even use the stock market to make a living, but ultimately, what you do in the stock market is totally up to you. So, the next video will be essentially going over this platform right here, the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform, just showing you how to set it up and get an account with that brokerage or whatever brokerage you end up choosing, so we can actually start teaching you how to invest in the stock market. So definitely look out for that. And as for this video, that's everything.